have, right?
He said he bring greetings from the CEO, and he and wishes that he could be here, but
Okay.
matters of
Yes.
state keeps him at New Eden.
So that's I didn't hear that exactly. All right. Good. All right. I think that's all I need to know for now. But that does help me with a few things. Thank you.
All right. So he after takes a small pause to grab a glass of water, have a drink of water, and the crowd cheers again at that, or at what he said, rather than him drinking water. And he says, "We at Cavalier Arms have always been amazed by the talents and skill of all you pilots, and what you can do under the most insane circumstances. And it would be foolish of us not to cherish, nurture this talent of yours. And therefore, in accordance with King Patrius and the board of directors, we have decided that all who won and all those who came second and third, regardless of their class, shall receive a fully paid sponsorship with Cavalier Arms if their team wishes it, because we look forward to the new generation of mech warriors." And at that, it's standing ovation as you finish saying that. Everyone seems like beyond ecstatic that the biggest weapons manufacturer in the sector is gonna be giving them free stuff.
I just look in worry. I have a very worried face because I have a feeling that they are behind something. They might be using these guys for something. From my personal experience with the company.
I
Also,
mean,
I stay towards the back somewhere where they cannot really see me.
all right,
Maybe use my hollow skin projector to change my face.
all right. Yeah, you can certainly do that and speculate as best you wish. It's entirely up to you.
Oh yes, I will. I will.
All right. Yeah. After the storm of applause and cheering dies down, he says, "But I'm not gonna take up more of your time, as there is a fantastic banquet prepared for you. Please, everyone, have a fantastic evening, and we enjoy the partnership that can only bring good things to the sector and to the future." And yeah, he raises a fist in the air, his left hand, and everyone else in the crowd mirrors the gesture, and there's a loud cheering as he walks off stage.
Is he leaving the banquet or is he going to be dining with us?
What would you say?
Do I see him leaving or do I see him going to a seat?
You see him walk off stage
Oh,
to the backstage area. Whether or not he's gonna come back and sit in the crowd, or if he goes somewhere else, we don't know.
if you don't mind me asking, do I have access to the backstage area?
None of you would have it.
None of us would have backstage access. Can I sneak in there just like while they're not looking?
I mean, if you want to sneak past the guard inside the backstage, you're welcome to try, but you would have to roll for it.
How well do you think I can sneak? No, no, I'll be fine. I don't think I can sneak well enough yet.
Fair enough. So, the rest of you, what are your reactions as you're hearing this rousing speech?
I mean, it sounds interesting. Might be worth looking into in the future. I don't know too much about this company in particular. I've probably only seen their logos around. And so, Vel, when you were doing all that, did you step away from wherever we were at?
No, I did not. I was just thinking about it.
Okay, yeah. So I'm probably just sort of absentmindedly saying, like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." Seems they're pretty excited to have these guys moving in here, and just sort of that sort of passive reaction to everything.
All right. So, how stoned is Ben right now? Has he taken the medication yet?
Is
He's always
this
taking the medication.
how late into the morning are we, or is this morning or night?
This is probably like 7:30 p.m. at this point.
Yeah, so he's probably several doses in at this point.
I do vaguely remember you mentioned you brought 6 whole marijuanas with you in the pocket.
I mean, how stoned can he get?
That's the normal loadout.
That's what he needs to function, right?
Yeah, that only gets him up to normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. I think Ben, because um, you know, winding back a few short minutes or so, as you were mingling with the crowd before you sat down at the diner, because I forget that because I'm skim reading through my notes. So I have sometimes, this happens. But yeah, you heard some of the pilots as you were mingling outside in the ballroom, like maybe an hour ago. When you first came in. You heard a bunch of them. You overheard them talk about Madame Courts and the hen house, and the way they spoke about it piqued your ears. I think because you did roll that thing earlier, and you did get an 11 on it. So
But can you repeat that? The hen house you said?
Yep.
I don't know why you were breaking up for me. Can you repeat that? Because you straight up broke up for me.
Oh yeah, I said no. This is what Ben noticed earlier with his.
You did
with
say
his
Ben.
roll
That's
that he
why.
made.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't see him
So
roll. That's wait, he rolled.
no, this was last session when
Okay.
you were just out mingling in the crowd before you sat down in the dining area. The thing is, I was skim reading through my notes, so I missed that part
Okay.
the first
Sorry.
time.
Yeah.
I
No, you
bring it
broke up
up.
because I heard Ben and hen house. And that's why I thought you weren't talking to me. But then when you said rolled earlier, I just looked at. I'm the only one that rolled something. That's why I got very confused. My headphones are weird. Don't ask.
Yes.
The wire broke. I've taped it.
I mean, I don't need to ask when you volunteer the information. All right, Ben. That's what you hear, at least. That's what triggered your sensitive hearing. And
Yeah.
it was both the words they used and the way they spoke about it between the pilots.
Okay. All right. So I look over and see if Brody's paying attention to any of this as it's being announced.
Yeah, I started to zone out speech.
All
Didn't
right.
concern us, so he doesn't care.
That puts Ben at ease. He's sort of figuratively kicks his feet up after this point. So he asks Vel if Vel's still here. So
I am still here.
yeah, how long do you think we should stick around here?
I actually have some things to look into. So if you don't mind giving me a day to look into it, we might have to stay here for a few nights if what I'm thinking may come to fruition.
All right, sounds good to me.
If you guys don't mind, I don't know if you guys have somewhere to be. And I address all of them now. Is Nash with us? Oh, sorry, Tarn. Is Tarn with us?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're on the table. Yes, I address all of them. And ask if they have anything else to do.
And I think while you're having this conversation at the table, Maxwell stands at the podium again and starts introducing the winners, the first and second place. And you see them in progression. One of the representatives for each team come up on stage, accept the prize, and maybe say some words if they choose, and then go sit down again. And like I said, this happens while you're talking amongst yourselves, because I don't think you may be paying attention to what's going on stage, or at least have any interest in that. Right. And then, I think after a few more acceptance speech and thank you speeches, he calls what would be a good name for this? One moment while I furiously scroll, because I apparently didn't write the first name.
Yeah, no problem.
Name generator.
I mean, it's too typical, but I'm just gonna fucking dive on it. So, yeah. After they introduced or go through the light and the suit class of Max, he comes to the heavy class, and he starts, as he always, with the third place, and they come up, grab the trophy, maybe say a few words, and start with then the second place comes up, grabs their trophy and says a few words. And you also have seen both times when gear grinders have been earning a trophy, the Sarge have been up on stage and grabbed it, and she's dressed in a fairly deep V-cut dress, red velvet, I think, because that's a good look.
Sounds nice.
Indeed. Yeah, were you gonna say anything while I was interrupting you?
Yeah. If I have like a plan to do something, do you want me to tell everyone what my plan is, so we can just do it as a team, or do you want me to do it, not tell anyone, just ask you things? So in this case, as soon as I noticed that Lord Patreus' family, the company's here and the vice president is here, my plan was to maybe get the DNA of the vice president and somehow get access to their facility and either steal data, sabotage it, or something like that.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it this way, right? If it's something you want to involve the whole group in, like have an in-character conversation about that.
Yeah.
And then if there's something you want to go off and do on your own that may negatively impact the other characters, then you can either just write that in a handout or send me a PM on Discord
All
if you want to keep that a secret from the
Yeah.
rest of
So
the group.
so things that I would like when I took over the fucking mech, I wouldn't want to tell my other characters that because.
No,
All right. So things like that you want me to keep
that
secret.
would probably be a good thing to keep secret. But ultimately, it's like I don't care either way. And if
I'm just saying for the RP sake, what do you think would be better? Just me like right now my plan is probably that's why I asked for the extra day is I want to see if we can either track him or get close to him, either steal DNA or get something from him that we can get. Maybe Tarn can hack something, So I mean we could have this conversation. I just don't think this is the place.
Oh, but if you don't think there's a place for something crazy half-brained scream straight away, then put a pin on it until you get to safe grounds.
All right, that works. So I'll just let everyone know things like that.
All right. And if you do talk in character, which you really should, remember that
I was just
there might be NPCs with ears around you as well.
And that's why I said this is not the place. That's what I meant by this is not the place to talk about this.
Yep. All right. And lastly, go ahead.
I said, all right, we can continue. That was all I wanted.
Yeah, and lastly, he introduces representatives from the Crimson Founder, who were the first place in the heavy category. And all of you see a remarkably young man, probably 14 or early 15, walk up on stage wearing the uniform of the Crimson Thunder. And they have a short conversation away from the mics. You don't hear it. They shake hands. He grabs the trophy as Maxwell offers it, and he stands at the podium. It looks like he has a bit of tan skin, like dark hair, like very chiseled features on his face, and he has conflicting emotions in him. I want to say, like, obviously, this is the overwhelming joy of winning what he's been practicing for years, but at the same time, there is something else there. And he says, he starts by saying, I wish to thank the team, I wish to thank the mechanics who helped us win this, who put so much time and effort into restoring all our equipment as we worn them down in order to practice so we could win this. I may be the youngest pilot in the league so far, but I already have accomplished a lot. And if my mother could be here to see me now, she would weep in pure joy. And behind him on the big screen, there is a picture of him and his mother, probably from a couple of years ago, as they're working on a mech together. And it seems to be a mech suit. He's far too, like, it's a smaller size mech, a smaller size mech suit rather, to fit his, tinier, smaller stature. And there is a picture of, like I said, his mother. And you see the face, and like they seem super happy as they're tinkering with the mech. And he says, but unfortunately, my mother could not be here tonight because she died a few months back in a terrorist attack. And as he says that, the projection behind him changes. You see, like, I assume would be like eulogy photography of his mother, and underneath there is a name tag.
We killed her.
In like some fancy font.
Can we tell where she died, or which terrorist sect she died to?
That was session 1, baby.
Was it? Did it say that? You remember her name?
If you look in the newsletter, you'll see.
All right, I didn't look at that. What did that say?
All right. So yeah, and the picture comes up, shows his mom, and the golden text in some fancy font with her full name, and he
I don't
says
see her name anywhere.
she died, and he says, when you can hear he's holding back some tears now. She was working overtime so she could pay for some extra parts for me for the mech I was working on. And now I never get to show her the trophy that I brought home. And yeah, he holds up the trophy to the ceiling, and he looks up. And the microphone still picks it up because the sound tech rises volume a bit, and it says, "This is for you, Mom. I won this for you." And then he brings the trophy down to his face, kisses it, and then he walks off stage with it. And yeah, in the background, the picture is still there of his mother, and then it shifts from the funeral picture to picture again with him as a younger couple of years ago, with his mom building the mech, and then it slowly fades, and then it becomes the organization logo for the mech tournament again. And Maxwell steps up to the podium again.